All right. Good evening. This is Lynx, and I thought I'd do another one of these driving and illuminating videos. Because I just got two of my favorite decks out of storage, and I'm reunited with two of my favorite decks, and it gave me an idea to something that people sort of suggest and hint at, but I don't think fully understand and or don't think is acceptable because of all the books out there that tell them otherwise. This is my wonderful Osiris playing cards, and this one is my Bicycle Classic Monsters. The point of the video, or the idea of this video, is that each deck, whether you realize it or not, there is a point where understanding the traditional meanings or meanings of cards is important, and it comes into play. But then there's other times when the subtleties of the deck come into play. So for example, this one sort of hits on subtleties, and when I use this one, it sort of gets into the mind stuff of people. And I also use this particular deck when I'm dealing with people's fears, because it illuminates a lot on their fears, and the imagery itself sparks certain things in people's subconsciouses. And then this one I use generally, and I think it's this one and another one. When the spades come up, it usually means something different. So it means the meanings of the cards are subtly different here, kind of. And also, what happens is, as you grow as a reader, and your understanding of what certain cards mean changes, you get different reactions from the cards. So that just because you start out understanding something meaning one thing doesn't mean that even within that deck they may come to mean other things. So the whole point of this is you have to stay adaptable and know your tools. Remember that they are just tools, and that the ability is really in the diviner. But if you're going to use tools, understand the subtleties of them. It's not this one. There is one I have. There is a deck I have, and I remember which one it is. When the spades come up, it means good things. It's like when all the spades come up, it's the most positive outcomes. And there's other ones. People say spades is the suit of sorrow and pain, and it doesn't work that way with this particular deck. This one is very, I'm going to say, generous and grandiose when it comes out, and it makes a spectacular presentation, and the reactions that people have to it opens them up in certain ways too. And then this one's, like I said, gets to subtleties, and I like to use this one. I like to use this one for a lot of different readings, but it also helps me to think about people's fears. I've said that in other videos where I've used this one. And then there's another one I got. I don't have it with me right now, but it's a French deck. It is the combination of tarot and playing card meanings, and all of the suits, all of the majors, are scenes from society. So they're different meanings entirely. So I guess my point is, or the point I'm trying to make is, sometimes the deck does make a difference, and sometimes, because of the personality of it, there are different subtle meanings that come up. And I discuss this with my students in my classes, why that is. But I'm just going to say, for the sake of it, if you notice that with certain decks, something that means one thing in one deck starts to mean something in another deck, then you're not imagining it. There is something else going on for you, and go with it. So to sort of sum it all up, let's just say that it takes a bit of, you should be adaptable, and you should approach reading with an alacrity that allows you to go with the flow, and that though basic meanings can be the same, it does sometimes mean that you may find subtle differences or differences entirely, like with the deck I use where the spades start coming up when everything's going your way, or you're in sync with everything and all the spades start coming up. And also that when you grow and you learn new meanings and you gain new understandings, you'll start to see that different decks start to respond differently too. So stay open when you read, and I know those books like to tell you that this is what this card means and this is what that card's mean, and it's always that way. But it becomes a danger then to be robotic in your readings, because in a lot of cases, even in some cases where, say this may be Egyptian mythology, and I choose this for someone who has a deep visceral reaction to it, it may open up a whole bunch of different things. This one may, the mythology itself may create a different result from the person I'm reading for too, which opens up a whole other different set of possibilities in the reading as well. Because symbolism is very, very powerful, and these archetypes are very, very powerful, and the artistry it can also be very powerful. So yes, for those of you who have asked me, there are differences that happen sometimes with different decks. You get different results, different responses, and even different meanings. And there are reasons for that. So I am Lucky Links, and I'm hoping that this sets you a little free and lets you off the hook about that. If you had that experience where you're like, what? Wait a minute, this seems to me meaning something different right now. It's okay. And sometimes you just need to hear someone say, it's okay, go with it. And realize that the real ability is in you, but you are reflecting off of a tool, and sometimes that affects things very differently. So, as always, I'm Lucky Links, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. If you'd like to schedule a reading, or if you'd like to take one of my classes, contact me, 779-302-8009, or conjurehope@gmail.com, conjurehope@gmail.com. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.